Too many people announce their dreams before they have even begun the work. They post their vision, share their plans, and seek validation from others, only to end up drained, criticized, or distracted. The truth is, growth is not always meant to be loud. Some of the greatest achievements are born in silence, built in private, and revealed only when they are ready to shine. Today, we're going to solve the problem of why every vision is like a seed, and a seed has to be planted in the right soil, under the right conditions, and given the right time to grow. If you expose that seed too early, before its roots have had a chance to take hold in the ground, the sun will scorch it or the birds will devour it. In the same way, your vision requires silence in its early stages. Not everything that God places in your heart is meant to be shared immediately. There is a season for speaking and a season for keeping quiet, because silence protects the fragile beginnings of your destiny. One of the greatest mistakes people make is to announce too soon what they are still trying to understand themselves. They get a glimpse of their dream, and in their excitement, they begin to tell everyone around them. But the truth is, not everyone can handle what you have seen. Some people are too small-minded to comprehend the magnitude of what God has shown you. Others are too envious to celebrate what you are carrying. And there are those who, though they smile at you, are secretly waiting for you to stumble. When you reveal your vision prematurely, you give access to voices that were never meant to shape your destiny. Think about Joseph. He received a dream from God as a young man, a dream of greatness, of leadership, of influence. But the mistake he made was speaking too soon. He told his brothers, men who were already jealous of their father's affection toward him, about the vision of them bowing before him. He shared it openly, not understanding that revelation comes with responsibility. His brothers didn't see his dream as a vision from God. They saw it as arrogance. They saw it as a threat, and what happened? His words stirred envy, and that envy turned into a plot to destroy him. If Joseph had kept silent, he may still have faced trials, but his journey would not have been complicated by his own voice. Silence could have been his shield. There is a principle here. The moment you announce your vision, you invite not just encouragement, but opposition. People cannot fight what they do not know. Silence protects you from unnecessary battles. It keeps your dream in a place where it can mature without interference. A baby in the womb is hidden for 9 months because it is not ready to face the outside world. If that child were exposed too early, it would not survive. In the same way, your vision must stay in the womb of silence until it has grown strong enough to withstand the pressures of exposure. Many people lose momentum not because they lack ability, but because they waste energy defending a dream that should never have been revealed. They spend more time arguing with doubters than working on their calling. They spend more energy proving themselves to critics than developing their craft. And before long, the vision fades, not because it wasn't real, but because it was suffocated by voices it should never have encountered. That is why silence is wisdom. It gives you room to focus, to prepare, and to develop without distraction. Silence also protects you from the danger of validation. When you share your vision too soon, you may become addicted to the approval of others. You begin to depend on their encouragement instead of trusting the conviction inside of you. And if they do not cheer for you, you may abandon what was given to you by God. This is how many destinies are aborted, not because the vision was false, but because the carrier lacked the strength to hold on to it without applause. Silence forces you to believe in what you have seen, even when no one else sees it. It trains you to rely on conviction, not confirmation. There is also the danger of manipulation. When you expose your plans, you give opportunity for others to twist, copy, or even steal what belongs to you. The enemy does not know your thoughts, but he can hear your words. When you speak carelessly, you reveal strategies that were meant to remain hidden. Many inventions, businesses, and ideas have been hijacked because someone spoke before they acted. Protecting your vision with silence is not secrecy born of fear. It is wisdom born of discernment. It is the understanding that timing matters. Even Jesus demonstrated this principle. There were moments when he told people not to reveal who he was or what miracle had been done. He understood that revelation before its time creates unnecessary chaos. He moved with discretion, revealing only what needed to be revealed in the moment. In the same way, you must know when to be silent and when to speak. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is knowing that the less people know, the more they cannot interfere. Your vision is too valuable to be handled carelessly. Like precious jewels, it must be kept in a secure place until it is time to display them. If you walk into a room with treasure openly exposed, you invite thieves. But if you keep it locked away, protected, nurtured, and valued, when you finally bring it out, it will shine in its fullness. This is the power of silence. It protects what is sacred, it shields what is fragile, and it guards what is still in the process of becoming. One of the greatest challenges in this generation is the obsession with being seen. We live in a culture that celebrates the appearance of success more than the process of building success. People are more concerned with posting progress than producing results. They invest more in curating an image than cultivating character. But destiny is not sustained by display, it is sustained by discipline. Display will get you applause for a moment, but discipline will keep you standing when the applause is gone. What you show on the outside means nothing if there is no substance on the inside. Discipline is the hidden force that builds greatness. It is the willingness to wake up earlier than others, to study longer than others, to sacrifice comfort in order to master your gift. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't attract crowds. It doesn't gain many likes. It doesn't bring immediate applause, but it builds the foundation upon which true success is established. What people see publicly is only the fruit. Discipline is the root. And the strength of the root determines how long the tree will stand. Display is dangerous because it creates the illusion of success without the substance of success. It makes people believe that appearance is equal to achievement. You can buy clothes that make you look wealthy, but that does not create wealth. You can post pictures that make you look productive, but that does not create productivity. Display is easy, but discipline is costly. Anyone can pretend for a moment, but only the disciplined can endure for a lifetime. The question is not how good you look in front of people, but how consistent you are when no one is watching. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Everyone has dreams, but not everyone has discipline. Dreams excite you, but discipline shapes you. Dreams motivate you, but discipline molds you. Dreams give you vision, but discipline gives you structure. You can be inspired by what you see in your future, but if you lack the discipline to work for it daily, that future will remain a fantasy. The discipline to study, to plan, to practice, to sacrifice, to delay gratification. These are the things that turn vision into reality. There is a reason why athletes spend countless hours in training away from the spotlight. They know that victory on the field is determined by what happens in the hidden hours of preparation. They don't just show up on game day and expect to win. They discipline their bodies, their diet, their rest, their routines. While others are sleeping, they are running. While others are partying, they are practicing. They understand that discipline is the price of mastery. The same principle applies in every area of life. Success in business, in leadership, in relationships, in ministry. All of it demands discipline long before it allows display. Discipline also demands consistency. It is not about what you do once, but about what you repeat until it becomes a lifestyle. Anyone can be disciplined for a day. Anyone can push themselves for a week. But real transformation comes when discipline becomes a habit, when it becomes part of your identity. You don't brush your teeth because you feel inspired. You brush your teeth because it's discipline. In the same way, you don't build your life because you feel motivated. You build your life because you are committed. Discipline must move from an act to a culture, from an effort to an instinct. Display cannot carry you through seasons of difficulty, but discipline can. When storms come, you cannot depend on how good you look on the outside. You need inner strength, you need structure, you need the muscle that has been built through years of consistency. A building with a weak foundation may look impressive on the outside, but one strong wind will reveal its weakness. In the same way, a life built on display will crumble under pressure, but a life built on discipline will stand. Discipline is what prepares you for adversity. It keeps you rooted when circumstances try to shake you. Another danger of display is that it creates competition instead of cultivation. When you live for display, you are always comparing yourself with others. You measure your worth by how many people notice you, how many people applaud you, how many people recognize your efforts. But discipline frees you from comparison. Discipline shifts your focus from others to yourself. You are not in competition with anyone else. You are in competition with the version of yourself that refuses to grow. Discipline says, I will outwork who I was yesterday. That is how you grow, by measuring progress against your own potential, not someone else's performance. Discipline also produces authenticity. Display often creates pressure to perform, to maintain an image, even when it does not reflect reality. But discipline makes you real. It builds substance. It allows your life to align with your words. When you live by discipline, you don't have to fake success, you embody it. You don't have to pretend to be strong, you are strong. You don't have to act wise, you have cultivated wisdom. Discipline ensures that what people see on the outside is simply a reflection of what you have built on the inside. Discipline demands sacrifice, and sacrifice is the doorway to greatness. You cannot have everything and become everything. You cannot indulge in every pleasure and still fulfill your purpose. Discipline means saying no to distraction so you can say yes to destiny. It means turning down instant gratification so you can embrace long-term fulfillment. It means living below the noise so you can rise above the crowd. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has paid the price of discipline. They chose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. There is a universal law woven into creation that nothing valuable appears suddenly. Every diamond was once hidden deep within the earth. Every pearl was once concealed within an oyster. Every great tree began as a small seed buried beneath the ground. In the same way, before destiny presents you to the world, it prepares you in secret. Preparation is the womb of greatness. Many people want the stage without the training, the recognition without the refinement, the crown without the process. But what they fail to understand is that presentation without preparation is exposure, and exposure without readiness leads to collapse. Preparation is what qualifies you for presentation. It is in the hidden place that your character is tested, your skills are sharpened, and your capacity is expanded. Presentation is only a reflection of what you have already built in secret. A singer's performance is only as strong as the hours they invested rehearsing when no one was listening. A leader's influence is only as powerful as the discipline they cultivated when no one was following. What people see in public is only the fruit of roots that were formed in private. To skip preparation is to sabotage your own presentation. Think about the life of David. Before he ever stood before Goliath, before songs were written about his victories, before he ever sat on the throne of Israel, David was in the fields tending sheep. That season of obscurity was not wasted, it was preparation. It was in the quiet fields that he learned how to fight lions and bears. It was in solitude that he learned how to worship God with his harp. When the day of presentation came, when Goliath challenged the armies of Israel, David was not intimidated, he was already prepared. His victory was not born in that moment, it was born in the hidden hours of preparation. Without preparation, his presentation would have been empty. Preparation is not glamorous. It does not attract crowds or applause. It often feels unnoticed and unappreciated. but it is the most important season of your life. Preparation demands humility because it teaches you to value growth over recognition. It trains you to embrace the process rather than chase the spotlight. In a world where everyone wants to be seen instantly, preparation forces you to be patient, to be faithful with small things, to master the basics before you are trusted with greater things. Many people destroy their own destiny because they rush into presentation without enduring preparation. They want to be known before they are ready to be trusted. They want to lead before they have learned how to serve. They want influence without integrity. But when you step into presentation prematurely, the weight of responsibility will crush you. Your gift might open the door, but without preparation, you will not have the strength to stay in the room. The stage will expose what the secret place did not prepare. Preparation builds depth. It makes you unshakable. Just as a skyscraper requires deep foundations before it rises into the sky, your destiny requires unseen preparation before it manifests publicly. The deeper the foundation, the higher the building can rise. If you skip the foundation, no matter how beautiful the exterior looks, the structure will not stand under pressure. In the same way, preparation equips you to handle the storms, the criticism, the temptations, and the trials that come with elevation. Without it, you may rise quickly, but you will fall just as quickly. Preparation also develops excellence. Excellence is not something you put on for presentation. It is something you cultivate in obscurity. It is choosing to give your best even when no one is watching. It is practicing until you master your gift, not because someone is applauding, but because you value the responsibility of stewardship. The person who prepares with excellence in private will always stand out in public. When opportunity comes, they will not have to scramble. They will already be ready. The danger of desiring presentation too soon is that it creates a shallow success that cannot endure. Fame without preparation becomes a trap. Influence without preparation becomes corruption. Wealth without preparation becomes destruction. That is why preparation is God's mercy. He hides you, delays you, and stretches you not to punish you, but to prepare you. Every delay is an investment in your foundation. Every hidden season is shaping you for a stage you cannot see yet. Even Jesus honored preparation. For 30 years, he lived in obscurity, working as a carpenter, learning obedience, developing in wisdom and stature. Only after decades of preparation did he step into 3.5 years of public ministry. And in that short time, he changed the world forever. His impact was powerful, not because he rushed into the spotlight, but because he submitted to the process of preparation. If the Son of God himself embraced preparation before presentation, how much more must we? Preparation is where discipline meets destiny. It is the quiet classroom of life where you are trained for the tests of influence. It is where you fail privately so you can stand publicly. It is where you grow roots deep enough to sustain the fruit that will come later. Presentation may give you visibility, but preparation gives you longevity. Without preparation, presentation becomes a trap. With preparation, presentation becomes a platform. There comes a point in life when words are not enough. Declarations, intentions, and promises may sound convincing for a moment, but in the end, people are not moved by what you say. They are moved by what you produce. Results are the true language of influence. They carry a weight that no speech can replace. They silence critics, they command respect, and they validate your vision without you needing to defend it. Results are the evidence that transforms dreams from theory into reality. Words can inspire, but results prove. Many people waste valuable time trying to convince others of their potential. They argue, they explain, they debate, and they exhaust themselves trying to gain acceptance. But you don't need to persuade anyone when you have results. A tree does not announce that it is fruitful, it simply produces fruit. The fruit speaks for itself. The same principle applies to your life. Your results will be your voice. You do not need to tell people you are disciplined. Your work will show it. You do not need to tell people you are gifted. Your output will prove it. You do not need to announce your greatness. Your results will reveal it. Results create credibility. You can make promises all day long, but until you deliver, those promises are just empty words. Consistent results demonstrate reliability. They show that you are not just someone who talks about possibilities, but someone who manifests them. People are drawn to those who produce. Leaders are followed because of results, not speeches. Businesses thrive because of results, not slogans. Families trust because of results, not intentions. Words can set expectations, but results build trust. There is also a spiritual principle in results. The book of Proverbs says that by their fruit you will know them. Character, authenticity, and truth are not proven by appearances or declarations. They are proven by fruit. Fruit is the natural outcome of a healthy root. In other words, results are the visible manifestation of invisible work. What you cultivated in discipline, in preparation, and in silence becomes evident when the harvest comes. You do not need to force people to acknowledge you. Your fruit will speak in places your words could never reach. Results also have the power to silence opposition. Critics thrive on words. They question, they doubt, they dismiss. But when results appear, their arguments lose strength. They may not like you, they may not agree with you, but they cannot deny the evidence of your success. Results end debates. When David defeated Goliath, no one could argue about his capability. He did not need to defend his right to stand on the battlefield. The giant lying dead at his feet became the loudest testimony of his ability. Results speak with a voice that even your enemies must acknowledge. Another truth about results is that they endure longer than words. Words fade, people forget promises, and declarations are often drowned in the noise of life. But results remain. They become landmarks that outlive you. A building constructed by disciplined hands will stand long after the workers are gone. A book written with excellence will inspire generations long after the author is no more. Results are lasting legacies. They outlast applause, they transcend opinions, and they leave an imprint that cannot be erased. Focusing on results also shifts your perspective from performance to productivity. Many people live to impress, but few live to produce. Impressing others lasts only as long as their attention span. Producing results last beyond their opinions. Productivity is not about looking busy, it is about creating impact. Results are the difference between activity and accomplishment. You can be busy all your life, but have nothing to show for it. True greatness is measured not by how much effort you expend, but by the fruit of that effort. Results also breed influence. People are drawn to what works. They follow those who have proven success, not those who simply promise it. If you want to lead, don't chase titles, chase results. Titles may give you authority for a season, but results will give you influence for a lifetime. Influence is not granted by words, it is earned by fruit. When you consistently produce results, doors open without you knocking. Opportunities come without you begging. People invite you to the table because they cannot ignore what you bring. There is also freedom in letting results speak for you. When you rely on results, you don't have to spend your energy defending yourself. You don't have to argue with doubters or compete with pretenders. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. Your results become your advocate. They testify in rooms you have never entered. They recommend you in places where your voice has not reached. And they create opportunities that your explanations never could. Results are not created overnight. They are the product of consistency, patience, and faithfulness. They come from years of sowing, watering, and cultivating what others cannot see. At first, it may feel like your efforts are invisible. You may wonder if anyone notices the hours you invest, the sacrifices you make, the discipline you endure. But when the season of harvest arrives, the results will appear and they will speak on your behalf. The fruit will validate the root. The outcome will prove the process. When results speak, you no longer need to. Results elevate you without noise, they introduce you without announcements, and they distinguish you without competition. They are the ultimate evidence of your vision, the undeniable proof of your purpose, and the clearest testimony of your commitment. Every destiny requires wisdom to protect it, discipline to shape it, preparation to sustain it, and results to prove it. You cannot build a lasting future by chasing applause or rushing for recognition. What will carry you through every season of life is the ability to protect your vision in silence, to cultivate discipline when no one is watching, to embrace preparation before stepping into presentation, and to allow your results to become your loudest voice. The difference between those who dream and those who manifest is not talent, not opportunity, not chance. It is the willingness to submit, to process. Silence shields the fragile seed of your vision. Discipline nourishes that seed with daily commitment. Preparation roots it deep enough to endure, and results become the fruit that the world cannot deny. Do not be deceived by a culture that celebrates display over development. Greatness is not built in the noise of the crowd, but in the quiet of the hidden place. The most powerful people you will ever encounter are those who learn to build themselves quietly until the day came when their impact could no longer be hidden. If you desire to live a life of influence, if you want to fulfill the vision placed inside of you, then choose the path of wisdom. Guard your dream with silence. Strengthen your character with discipline. Submit to the hidden work of preparation. And when the time is right, let your results speak for you. The world is waiting not for your announcement, but for your manifestation. Many people fail to manifest their vision. They talk too much and build too little. I'm going to show you 6 powerful ways to build yourself quietly so that when you do emerge, no one can deny the results.